bulbs and lighting that consumes a lot of electricity. Rather, we can make more investments through the budget on the new ones. Of course, this transition from using kerosene to cooking gas and using less firewood and charcoal, although it's in agriculture, is also an energy and a power issue. Now to the big one, there was consensus in this room that we should stop all investments into acquiring nuclear power capacity, nuclear power plants. Because we don't have the technology, neither do we have the capacity nor discipline to run these power plants. Other countries like Germany are closing down their nuclear power plants. And even up till today, the most technologically advanced countries do not know how to dispose of their nuclear fuel, the nuclear waste. They are simply storing them. So you can imagine what will happen if Nigeria simply gets into what it doesn't understand. We are not likely even going to get new power plants. They are likely going to give us those old disused ones that are very, very unstable. And if the president or minister or whoever, by whatever name called, insists that we must have a nuclear power plant, we must site it in his village. We must site it very close to his father's house, so that if he has done it, at least he starts and finishes up everybody around here before he goes out. Because this is a very serious matter of life. You are laughing, the sighted one near your place in it. You are people. So laugh very well. That's why they will build it near your father's house. So we are also saying to stop budgetary investments in coal mining or using coal to generate electricity. Coal mining heavily pollutes the environment and the water, and this used to generate energy further complicates the situation through the strong emission of GHGs. Diversify the sources of renewable energy beyond solar, because each time we talk of renewable energy, everybody is talking solar. Let's talk about wind, let's talk about hydro, biomass, and waste to energy. Of course, increase utilization of gas, which we are flaring, through the public funding of the National Gas Master Plan, and use public-private partnerships to attract more investors. In transport, we also noted the same policy plan budget continue. We identified the policies to include the National Transport Policy, NASPA CCN, INDC is now converted to NDCs, and the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. And to reduce greenhouse gases emission, in line with Nigeria's INDC, we are asking for the following. We need to upgrade roads in city centers to reduce congestion, which also helps us to increase fuel efficiency and incentivizes use of public transport. Not everybody must drive a very heavy big car that guzzles a lot of fuel. Reinforce roads and other transport infrastructure that takes cognizance of climate change. Improve transport connections from satellite towns to city centers. Effecting a modal shift in passenger travel from air and road to high-speed rail. Focusing on the busiest routes where immediate uptake and substantive savings in time travel can be made. It's been a long time we've been hearing this story of rails. They should at least complete a few ones so that we can begin to see how it is impacting on us. Beyond the one from Abuja to Kaduna, I don't know of any other one that has been completed among the new rail projects. So they're quite laudable, and we need to increase investments in them. Now we also need to improve overall vehicle efficiency through higher fuel efficiency standards, labeling and testing. We've heard that the fuels they import these days, you burn it for 2 days, your fuel tank, it is gone. This wasn't the scenario a few years ago. So we need to improve the efficiency of these fuels and bring in those standards that they use in those advanced countries, and not necessarily what we are doing here, which is like we always a second-rate or third-rate products that we are using in the country. We should get to a stage where VIOs and Federal Road Safety Corps should be equipped with technologies and capacity to check the level of carbon emissions from vehicles. And vehicles found emitting more than requisite standards and levels should be made to undergo repairs for compliance and should be off-road until they comply. We need to continue the enforcement of the ban on importation of vehicles over 15 years old, maybe a review of the ban to lower the age of vehicles to not more than 10 years. But at least we should know the standard of vehicles that are coming into Nigeria. Implement a road tolling policy that incentivizes the use of public transport and co-finances improvements in public transport systems on roads that have already been rehabilitated and operated by the private sector. I know some people will say, why is the civil society asking for tolling of roads? We need to be realistic, because if you want good roads, you must pay. And we've been told that there is no money in the country again, so we need to raise money to be able to do these things. Increase the use of compressed natural gas and liquefied petroleum gas for transportation. They are quite necessary, cheaper than the petrol we use every day. Solar and other renewable energy powering of transport infrastructure like airports, rail stations, road lighting, offices of the Ministry of Transport and these parastatals is very, very key. And as soon as the economy recovers from recession, implement fiscal incentives such as fuel and vehicle taxes, right, which will discourage the growth of private motorized traffic and thus reduce emissions. Also, as soon as the economy recovers from recession, I know this one may not be very popular, we are saying that any subsidies, if any still remaining on petrol, diesel or aviation fuel, they should be removed. And the money saved from there utilized for low carbon investments in transportation. And we welcome the idea of floating green bonds, but subject to a caveat: the projects must be popularly identified by the Nigerian people. They must not be bogus projects. They must be projects through which we can get good returns, because the bonds are not charitable money. They have to be paid back with interest. So they must be projects that can pay back for themselves without government subvention over the years. So ladies and gentlemen, these are our preliminary and initial thoughts on these three key sectors, and we shall welcome questions and comments from the media on any of these areas if you need further clarification.